Alright, so this technique is about masking in Flash, and masking is really sort of a misnomer. They really should have called it reveal, and you'll see why in just a second. So I've got my B here, and I've put a rectangle on top, and you can see that I've named it mask, and here's the B underneath it. So if I were to tween my B across the stage, you would, fly across the stage. And if I were to continue the rectangle, I haven't turned it into a mask yet, but if I were to continue the rectangle so that it stays on the stage, you'd see that the B goes behind that rectangle momentarily and then comes out on the other side. The way that masking works is that we modify the properties of the mask layer. So I've right-clicked on my mask layer, and actually you can't see that because it's going off screen. So let me do this. Let's go Modify, Timeline, and I'm going to go to Layer Properties, but much easier if you just right-click. You'll get to the same menu. Layer Properties, and I'm going to turn that layer that's named Mask into, guess what, a mask layer. So I'm going to click on that now. And you'll see that the icon has changed. It's become something of a square with sort of a checkerboard circle in the center of it. And that's how I know that I've got the mask. And also that the B layer has been now indented. I did that by just pulling it up and to the right. And you can see that the icon for it has now changed to have this little sort of page turn. So right now it doesn't look any different. If I scrub over this, the B still appears to go behind. But if I were to test the scene, or in the editing environment, if I were to lock the layers, see how the B has disappeared? And as I scrub over it, you'll see that he appears in the area only where that mask was. So that's essentially how masking works. So what then, pray tell, does that mean? By the way, I used a bright color so that you could really tell that there's no way that you're seeing the mask on stage. You're just seeing through the mask, or as I like to call it, a reveal, to where the B is. So that's a simple mask. Let's add another layer. I'll just add a layer here, and let me put another rectangle on that layer. Let's hide everything here. Let's put a different color of rectangle. And you'll see that when it's not being affected by the mask, so there's a big blue rectangle on my stage, excuse me, and it's not indented into the mask, so it's not being impacted by the mask, even when I lock the layers. So what you're going to see now is that the B appears within that blue area where the mask is, right? Here's where the mask is. And then he disappears again. So if I wanted to have a different color in the mask area, I could take that layer as well and indent it by pulling it up and to the right so that it changes. And now if I lock all the layers, you'll see that the B appears to be flying past perhaps a window or something like that. So that's one of the useful things that masking can do, as well as many others. It's a good idea to just get the concept of it before you start doing more advanced things with it, which we'll do in a minute.